masterclass. In these masterclasses, I share with you quick tips and quick wins. In this masterclass, I'm talking all about introducing an okay to wait clock and how we can best do that. Let's get started. Lots of families are thinking about introducing an okay to wait clock, but actually go about doing it the wrong way and it just not work. I hear from so many families that they tried this and it's just not for their child. But actually it will work for most children. You just need to introduce it the right way. So what is an okay to wait clock? You may have seen them there on the market, and it can be a clock that is going to something may light up when it is time for your child to get up. It could be that a picture will light up. It could be a traffic light. It can be just a light coming on. I used to use something very similar back when my two children were much younger, much younger, and I just had a night light on a timer. So I would set the nightlight on a timer, the time I wanted the children to wake up. So it was something that they could see easily from where they were in bed. So that's how you want your clock to be. Something that your child can see easily from bed. They don't have to get up to see it. So you want it to be maybe across the room. You don't want it to be right next to your child either, because we don't want it to be something that either will click or suddenly a bright light will actually wake them up. So across the room is completely fine. Look at how your child is currently waking up. What time are they currently waking up? You need to know this. You also need to know that realistically what time you would like them to wake up. Let's just have an example that your child is waking up at 5 and you'd like them to be getting up at 6. A lot of times families will then just have the okay to wait clock come on at 6. Their child is still waking up at 5. They are not going to wait for that hour because it's just too long. An hour is just an infinite amount of time and a child is not going to wait for that. So you want to set your clock for the time that your child is currently waking up. So 5 o'clock, because they need to see how this works. They need to see as well what's going to happen when they get up and the light is on. So you set this for the time that they are currently waking. You need to let them know what it is that they need to do when they see that the light has changed, the light has come on, the clock has changed, whatever that is. What is it that they need to do? Are they to get out of bed and to come to you? Let them know what it is that they need to do, and during the day have some practice time doing that. Now it's 5 o'clock. The clock has changed and your child is going to get out of bed. They're going to do whatever it is that you've been working on, and you need to then reward them and praise them for staying in bed until it's indicated that it was time to get up. So that can be just sort of lots of big praise. Yay, you did it. You stayed in bed until the clock changed. Great job. Come on, let's go and start our day. And then just going through your day. Some things that can be helpful is have your child hearing in as you're talking to your partner, the family member, about how they did so great with this, so that they know that it's actually important enough for you to be talking about this with somebody else. Do this for 2 or 3 days. So we're having this set at the exact same time, lots of praise, and then letting your child hear you talk about how great they did. Then you want to set that clock, that light, for a little bit later. And that could be 5 or 10 minutes later. It could just be 2 minutes later. Initially, we want it to be that they are only having to wait for a very short period of time, which is going to be manageable for them. So set this for maybe 5 minutes past 5. Now, if your child wakes up and they come through to you, and you know that the light has not changed, you know that the clock has not changed, you can then ask them, has the clock changed? They're going to say one of two things here. They're going to say yes, or they're going to say no. So if they say no, then you can say, okay, let's go back to bed and we'll wait for the clock to change. Take them back to bed and leave if you can. You don't have much time here, really, do you? If you've only got a couple of minutes, you want to leave if you can. If your child says yes, that it has changed, even though you know that it hasn't, what you want to do then is you want to say, okay, let's go check. So you're not saying, no, it hasn't, because you are not seeing it. You want to say, let's go check, and take your child, and then you say, oh look, it's not changed yet, hop back into bed, let's wait until it has changed. And then you're doing the same thing. You stayed in bed until the light had changed. Even though they've potentially got out, you still want to make it sort of worthwhile. Doing the same 2, 3, 4 nights, and then setting it for a little bit later. Because when they know that it is actually going to happen, and they are able to wait for that duration of time, that's when you can work on setting it later and later and later. Suddenly, trying to get them to wait for an hour is not going to work. It will never work. But if you can do this, that they can wait for short periods of time and increase that time as the days go on, that's when this will work. It's going to take time. It's not going to be a quick fix, obviously. It is going to take time, but it will work. It works very, very well. So you want to think about what time your child's waking up, what your acceptable time is, set it to the time they're currently waking, and then as the mornings go on, set it later. Give them big praise for staying in bed until the light came on, until the clock changed, and then take them back if you need to, if they have got out of bed too early. It's a really great way to introduce this clock. They can work incredibly, incredibly well. Good luck, and let me know if you have any questions.